Easter bun is a big deal in Jamaica. Sweet, spiced, and packed with flavor. It's the taste of the season. But making it with yeast, that's where things get tricky. A dry, dense bun, nobody wants that. Hey, I'm Nick, and today I'll show you how to get your Yeaster bun just right. Soft, flavorful, and baked to perfection. Let's get into it. Easter bun is a rich spiced sweetbread traditionally enjoyed in Jamaica during Easter, usually paired with cheese. It's packed with warm flavors of cinnamon, nutmeg, mixed fruits, and molasses are browning for that signature dark color. Some buns are made with baking powder, which creates a more cake-like texture. A yeast-raised bun, on the other hand, has a distinct chewiness and depth of flavor. The fermentation process develops a more complex taste, and the texture is soft yet slightly stretchy, perfect for slicing and pairing with cheese. If you want that classic bakery style Easter bun with a balanced sweetness and a proper bite, a yeast bun is the way to go, and that's exactly what I'm making today. I kept this recipe as simple as possible, one bowl with both wet and dry ingredients. Start with a pound or about 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour. This is quarter cup brown sugar. We don't need much since plenty of the other ingredients already bring sweetness. Next, 2 ounces of diced butter. You could melt it, but that's just an unnecessary step. Here I have a cup each of raisins and cherries. You could use all kinds of dried or preserved fruits, so no need to be as conservative as me. Skip them if you're not a fan. Next, half tablespoons yeast. This will be the unleavened for our Easter bun. Then 3 tablespoons of mixed spice for baking. This is just a blend of warm spices used in baking. You could add them individually, but a mix is more convenient. And you won't have to buy spices you'll probably only use once or twice. Let me know in the comments if you want to see me make a spice mix blend from scratch. To tie all those flavors together, half teaspoon salt, 1 tablespoon vanilla, 2 tablespoons honey. This adds a mellow flavor and some extra sweetness. And for color, 3 tablespoons of browning. Bonus if it's homemade, I'll link that video below. Ripe banana. This is the secret ingredient most people won't tell you about. Most commercial bakeries use banana or sometimes papaya extract in their bun recipes. This really rounds out and elevates the flavor of the bun, making it taste less like just a sweet spice bread. I'm using 1 banana that I'm just going to mash with a fork. Dragon stout. This adds a ton of flavor to Easter bun. But it's a bit trickier with a yeast bun. Stout slows down the activity of the yeast. Combine that with the high sugar content, heavier ingredients, spices, higher acidity, and you might have a bun dough that does not rise at all. We could skip the stout entirely, but I'm adding quarter cups. That should be okay. The yeast needs all the help it can get, so that means using warm liquids. I'm adding a cup of warm water that I heated up on the stove. Just don't let it get to the point where you can't touch it. Next, use a spoon to mix all of that together. The warm mixture will melt the butter, so that works. We want a sticky mixture, but we should still be able to handle it with our hands. This is way too sticky, so I'm adding another cup of flour. After kneading that in, it should have the consistency of really soft Play-Doh. After that, just cover it and leave it at room temperature for about an hour to rise. The dough should double and get a lot lighter. At this point, the dough will be slightly less sticky because of the gluten development. To help with the stickiness, use a bit of oil on both your hands and on the work surface. First, fold the dough over onto itself. This gives the dough some structure and helps with the stickiness. Next, I'm going to divide the dough into 2 equal parts. I'm making 2 small loaves, so I got 2 small loaf pans. These are 8 by 3 inch pans. This could easily be done in 1 large loaf pan though. The next step is similar to bread making. Fold the dough over onto itself, flatten it, fold over the sides like this, then roll the dough up from the side closest to you. Make sure to keep it nice and tight. This gives the dough structure and helps it hold its shape. Place that in a loaf pan and repeat those steps with the next piece of dough. I personally like this lighter color, but if you like your Easter bun a bit darker, you could add a couple more tablespoons of browning. Alright, now that both buns are in the pan, it's time for a second rise. That will take around 20 minutes, so I'm going to cover this and just let it rest. It's been about 20 minutes and these look good. All that's left now is to bake them. But before that, I'm going to brush them with a bit of salt. The idea here is to keep the crust moist for longer so it doesn't crack. This was actually a really bad idea, especially for the result I was going for, but we'll get into that soon. Next, place these in a preheated oven at 325 degrees Fahrenheit. These will take around 35 to 40 minutes to fully cook through. And right there is a problem. I brushed them with the stout way too early, so it started to dissolve the crust before it even had a chance to form. I wanted to avoid cracks and ended up with way more cracks than I would have had. And they're done. Not the aesthetic I was going for, but I kinda like the rustic vibe. I'm going to make a quick glaze by melting together some butter and guava jelly. That's going to keep the crust soft and moist. Next, simply brush on that glaze. These need to cool first before you can enjoy them. Personally, hot Easter bun doesn't taste very good. You don't get the full range of flavor until it cools completely. Those are not the sexiest looking buns, but let's allow them to cool and check out the taste. These are completely cooled now and that texture is on point. You can tell it's still moist and soft. This has that moist chewy crust that I love with my Easter bun. I love that cross section, but what really stands out are those smells from the delicious warm spices. This might not be the cutest bun, but I'm really happy with the texture and the taste is spot on. That's a proper Easter bun. You can't have a proper Easter bun without some Jamaican processed cheddar. This is a timeless pairing. Nothing like a bun and cheese sandwich. This recipe took way too many tries to get the taste and texture just right, so make sure you give it a try. Big shout out to our patron who keep the kitchen cooking, and thank you for watching. Check out this next video right here to see how I make Easter bun without yeast. Catch you in the next one.